Hey guys, Czar here. Hope all is well. Trust you had an amazing weekend. It is Monday. Happy Monday to you. We are open here. It's Monday, November 18th, by the way. We are open on New York. There's the first candle forming, the first 1 minute open range, VWAP, volume weighted average price, 2 standard deviation bands on my VWAP. Let's take a look at the daily frame. As you can see, we had a very big sell-off on Friday, and for the last few sessions, really most days last week, that was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, big drop Friday. Today we have an inside day on the Nasdaq, inside day on the S&P, slightly bearish body on the S&P, and slightly bullish body on the Nasdaq for now. And once again, we are open here. There's the 1 minute open range and dropping below here on the second 1 minute candle so far. And we have alignment between the two sisters here. You're watching this, guys, not jumping on anything. It's Monday, meandering Monday, messy Monday. Some say manic Monday. Lots of different M words for Monday. You can see we are in this range here, guys, through the UK session. And this, of course, is the Asian session that began at 8 p.m. New York time last evening. And it is now 9:32 a.m. the following day. Dropping down here a little bit, back to the 1 minute chart, below open range, below open range. I'm not going to jump on anything here out of the gates. We are below VWAP on both sisters for now. Nothing for me to do. Like I said, I'm going to be very patient here. Just wait for things to develop. Back inside the open range. So what am I looking at here, guys, when I take a look at this grid, for instance? The daily chart in the top left, 30-minute chart in the bottom left, and then the 1 minute chart, sometimes 30-second chart here on the right-hand side. I start with the daily and I decide, okay, this is an inside day, so by definition, range-bound. But Friday was such a gigantic candle, that's a huge range. You could almost consider that a relatively normal day, except for the fact that we would still need to break a prior day's low, for instance, or even this body here that you see from Friday. That makes it relevant, right? But the fact that it's an inside day of a giant range, less impressive than an inside day on a small candle. For instance, when this candle here started off as an inside day of this one, that's more meaningful. That's a rangy day, and it was a rangy 3 days, to be quite frank, if you remember, quite choppy last week, today being Monday of a new week. But then I go down to the 30-minute chart and I look at where we are in terms of zones. We have a relatively minor zone that was just formed earlier here this morning, 6 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. candles there on the 30-minute. And a zone here that's not particularly strong either, since it was only from 2 or 3 candles ago on the 30-minute chart. There really is nothing major happening here in the New York session from Friday, right? This has been a pretty steady rally up. So not a very strong zone here. It's relevant to watch, but I'm not afraid to take a short into that, for instance. I would be more afraid to take a short into this zone here because of the violent stoppage of the selling down and then firing things back up again. A kind of a V bottom here on the 30-minute chart from Friday. That's a very important and powerful zone, especially given the fact that we are now back into the New York session. In other words, the same or similar participants that did this are possibly sitting here willing to do something like that again. So this is a fairly indecisive picture here, and given that it's Monday, which is indecisive by nature on average, there's nothing for me to do. And of course, as long as we're inside the open range, I have nothing to add here, guys. Nothing to do. And breaking above open range, but still below VWAP for now on both the Nasdaq and the S&P. This rangy 30-minute has me just sitting on the sidelines here, guys. Not interested in doing anything here. We have a bullish body on the inside day on the daily, and just grinding around here on the 30-minute chart. The 1 minute is the last piece of the puzzle. The story begins here on the left-hand side. Just being super patient here, guys. As long as things are grinding around like this, I'm not interested. We have a contracting pattern now in the S&P and rallying, as you can see. All right, guys, we have news in about 10 seconds here. Just been waiting for that to play out here. And news is out. If you're a member of my free Telegram group, you know that you get these news alerts before they come out in the morning in the pre-market. In fact, the news calendar for the entire New York session. If you're not a member, come on by. The link's in the description. All right, so prices are back into the open range. Really just a continuing grind here. At least the news is out of the way. You can watch things develop now from here. All right, guys, so as you can see, we are still stuck in this sideways congestion area here. Very much rangy, of course, in the daily, but now breaking above the open range on both S&P and NASDAQ. But we are at VWAP, and that's a bit of an issue for me, given that VWAP is respected here, was respected here in the pre-market as well. And S&P really doing something similar here, breaking through here, marginally at least here for now on the S&P, but nothing convincing going on for me, guys. The news is out of the way, 10 a.m. news. It's 10:03, 10:04 now, but nothing going on here. Pushing up here now, guys. I'm not touching this here, guys. I want to see a convincing break above this. There's a break and close, marginal at best. S&P, NASDAQ. Nothing convincing going on here for me, guys. Very extended move now on the 1-minute chart, of course, from down below open range and the EMAs to a quick push up after that news at 10 o'clock. This is the 10 a.m. candle right here, guys. Took us from below the open range to above the open range, marginal break of the pre-market high. But still not even at futures high. You can see the top of the wick there. Here, let me show it to you. There's the futures high right there, guys. Way up there. See that? Top of the wick on the daily and over here in Asia. Adjusting this marker up. Now, I don't normally draw zones on my 1-minute chart, but I just wanted to illustrate what I'm thinking here from a structural standpoint. This high right here, of course, is the top of that wick on that 30-minute candle down here. See that? Just bringing out a marker. Just thinking, guys. All right, guys, buy stop order. Buy stop order. So why am I looking at this, guys? Well, we allowed this Monday morning meandering open range tug of war, below, above, below, and the news finally came out right here, 10 a.m. candle, resolving to the upside, breaking session high, and I'm looking for it to prove that it can break the pre-market high right here in order to even consider taking a long. And I am almost in here. And I am in, guys. I am in. I was looking away at my other platform, got the alert. Long the NASDAQ. All right, guys, we hit the 75% mark. Moving my stop to break even here to lock in. A sure no lose here on Meandering Monday. And if I get stopped out, I'll let the video play out so we can see how this thing ends. And there it is, guys. Finally, a little bit of a grind, but waited for that tug of war to play out. News at 10 a.m. right there, resolving to the upside. New session high, pre-market high, full confirmation and bullish body on the daily. Have an amazing day. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.